The following video contains spoilers for The Force Awakens. One of the biggest questions posed by The Force Awakens is how did the lightsaber of Anakin and Luke Skywalker wind up in Maz Kanata's castle? I think the Lucasfilm Story Group already has an answer to this question thought out, because when Han asks her how she got it, she says it's a good question for another time. So I think we're going to get our answer in episodes 8 or 9 or a novel or a short story or something. But since we're impatient Star Wars nutjobs, let's speculate wildly on all the possibilities. Let's start with what we know for sure about the lightsaber. Of course, it was last seen on Cloud City, where it was lost along with Luke's hand. According to the Visual Dictionary, someone salvaged it from the city's industrial depths. A major piece of this puzzle is finding out who that someone was, and that's where the speculation is going to start. I'm going to begin with the most simple explanation and cut out the middleman. What if that someone was Maz herself? The Visual Dictionary has this to say about her. In her centuries of travel, Maz has collected countless trinkets and treasures, not to sell, but to protect. We know that Maz was Force sensitive, although she was not a Jedi. She definitely recognized the call of the lightsaber to Rey, so maybe she had a similar calling in the past that led her to Cloud City. But that brings up a question of timing. If it was during the Galactic Civil War, there was an Imperial garrison left there after the duel between Vader and Luke. So I think that if she were to have traveled to Cloud City to pick up the lightsaber herself, it would have been after the Empire's defeat. The next possibility is that she didn't feel a call to the lightsaber at all, but that someone else brought it to her. Maz's castle is a safe haven. According to the short story The Face of Evil, all beings received one night of food, water, and shelter for free, no questions asked. After that came heavy fees. So what if this someone we're searching for is just a random citizen of Cloud City trying to escape the Imperial garrison and make a new life for him or herself? They find the lightsaber and head to Maz's castle, which by the way is not that far from Bespin. Thanks to the Star Wars comic and Gracchus the Hutt, we know that Jedi artifacts are valuable on the black market. In exchange for an extended stay at the castle, I could definitely see Maz accepting the lightsaber as payment. The next possibility is a combination of the previous two, and the one I think is most likely. That is that there were multiple someones. Someone at Cloud City found the lightsaber and then it passed hands throughout the galaxy, probably in the black market. A friend of Maz's may have caught wind of this and let her know, and then she set out to retrieve it and keep it safe. And my last theory involves Luke himself. It's possible Luke went back to Cloud City for the lightsaber and held on to it for a time. Rey receives a vision in the Force when she touches the lightsaber, and while it's totally possible that this was just a vision specifically about Rey, it reminded me a lot of Quinlan Voss's canon Force ability known as psychometry. Voss was able to touch an object and see its history through the Force. So what if every piece of this vision actually involves the lightsaber itself? The vision starts in the hallway on Cloud City where Luke and Vader fought. So far, so good. Then we shift to Luke and R2 by a fire, I'm guessing after the betrayal of his nephew. We also see the Knights of Ren killing a group of people. Maybe Luke was attempting to hide with his remaining students, and then the Knights of Ren found them all, and Luke was the sole survivor fleeing with his lightsaber. Then it kind of starts to fall apart a little bit because the next piece of the vision is Rey being left on Jakku, and I don't quite buy that Luke is the one that left her, but for the sake of this argument, let's say that he did. He left Rey there and he had the lightsaber on him at the time. After that, he either throws the lightsaber away and goes into hiding, or he takes it to Maz for safekeeping, and that would explain why she knows so much about the weapon's history. Rey's vision ends with a look into the future where she sees the forest where she's going to fight Kylo with the lightsaber. Of these possibilities, I think that Maz tracking down the lightsaber in the black market herself has the most support in text. We know she's a collector, and we know she has a story behind finding it, which makes it less likely that someone just randomly gave it to her at her castle. I want to finish off this video by talking about when Maz actually got the lightsaber. She tells Han that she's had it locked away for ages, which isn't really that descriptive, especially when you consider that the maximum amount of time she could have had the lightsaber, which is about 30 years, is like nothing to a being of Maz's age who's been alive for 1,000 years. I think she probably got it after Luke disappeared. If she got it during the Galactic Civil War, I could see her keeping it hidden for her own safety, but once Luke started his new Jedi Order, I would have thought that she would have returned it to him, but it's totally possible that she maybe had a vision that prevented her from doing so, or warned her against doing that. What do you guys think? There's evidence that points to all of these options, and I'm sure there's some that I haven't even considered. So which do you think is most likely, or do you have your own idea that I haven't talked about? Let me know in the comments. And as always, subscribe to see new Star Wars videos every Monday through Friday. Thank you for watching, and may the Force be with you.